Hi, I'm Pastor Edward Harden of the Berean Seventh-day Adventist Church in Jackson, Mississippi. If your family's like mine, you've been struggling with child care, with schooling, and also the economic issues surrounding the pandemic that we're going through. Just want to share some information. I'm not an expert, but these things may affect your family. First of all, if you are someone who doesn't normally have to file taxes for one reason or another, and you have children and you've heard about the economic stimulus check and you haven't received yours, it is possible that you haven't because the IRS doesn't have your information. And what we're hearing is if you don't get that information into them before this Tuesday, May 5th, 2020, you may have to wait until next year. Here's what you need to do. Go to irs.gov and look for the tab that says non-filer. Put your information in to make sure that you get those monies that are due to your family. All right. Secondly, there are a number of individuals who, because of this pandemic, find themselves unable to work. They may have lost jobs, and yet your work may not be a part of those traditionally covered by unemployment. I want to tell you about something I learned in a meeting this week called the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Benefit. Again, I'm not an expert, and here's where you can get more information out of www.mdes.ms.gov, and there's the telephone number. Here's what we learned about this program. If somehow you're part of the gig economy, you're a faith-based worker, your job is non-traditional, and your income was affected in some way, maybe because you came down with the coronavirus, maybe a family member came down with it and you're caring for them, maybe your children aren't able to get to their daycare center, school, and so you have to stay home to take care of them, and you're not able to do that work, do that job, do that gig, do that ministry job that you were doing. If you're unable to reach your place of employment, if somehow you were scheduled to work, you had a job lined up, some work lined up, and because of this coronavirus, that job went away, you may be eligible under this program. Even for those who have been told that your job doesn't traditionally qualify for unemployment, you may be eligible here. If your job was closed because it was deemed non-essential, if you're a minister, a musician, and that income has dried up, you may be eligible here. Here's what you need to know. Again, that's the website, but there's no fee to file. When you go to the website or when you call in, you need to make sure that they have your full legal name, your social security number, your driver's license information to make sure that you are you, the name of your employer, who it is that you work for, even if that was you. And here's the key. What they really need is to be able to understand what your income was or potential income would have been from this job. They're really looking at last year, if you have some record of what you made last year. And so any check stubs from last year from this job, any W-2s, any 1099s. But even if you weren't issued any of those, if you're able to verify it through a letter from the bookkeeper or the financial officer of that entity, that may be enough for them to figure out what you're eligible for. Or if you work for yourself, what I heard is even if you have a letter from some of your clients about the kind of work you did, the frequency that you did it, you may be eligible for this benefit. Again, folks, this program is a part of a federal-state partnership. There's a portion that comes from the state, there's a portion that comes from the federal government. And the federal benefit for Mississippi, I heard, runs out in July. And so if you think you're eligible, go to the website, get your information in, and go ahead and check and see. Lastly, one of the things that I learned this week is that there are about 40,000 Mississippians who have gone through the process, who have applied, and because they haven't done the weekly updates, the weekly check-ins, they might not get the checks that they are eligible for. And so you got to make sure that you do your weekly that you do your weekly certifications, your weekly check-ins. The MDES, they told us about an app that they have in your app store called 2File UI. And with that app, you can do those weekly check-ins to make sure they understand what your continuing status is, so that you can make sure you get those checks that you are eligible for. Again, this may be relevant to you. This may be relevant to somebody you know. If so, pass the information on. But we just want to make sure that you're okay and that you are receiving all that you may be eligible for, as we all try to survive and endure this time of challenge. All right, that's just about it for me. But before I leave, I wanted to invite you. There may be some of you who are looking for a place for virtual worship. We're all trying to be safe, but we also want to connect with God and other believers. I want to invite you to my place of worship, the Berean Seventh-day Adventist Church. We have an online presence. Look for us on YouTube. In fact, this little QR code, if you scan it with your phone, it'll take you right to our YouTube site. Also look for us on Facebook as well. And we would love to see you in our worship. We worship every Saturday at 11 a.m. Check us out, and we would love to see you at worship. God bless you, everybody. Be safe. We're going to all make it through this thing. All right, that's it for me. Bye-bye.